Welcome, awesome artists. I'm Karen from Awesome Art School. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna take those girls that you've been drawing with some resting bitch faces and we're gonna make actual bitch faces. I'm very excited. 2 ways to be exact. Let's get started. Now, please don't be insulted that I said your girls have resting bitch faces. I just want to show you from my own body of work that 99% of my own girls have this same flat, slightly perturbed expression on their face. But I'm tired of making dead-eyed girls. I want to make girls with real, powerful expressions, like power pissed and don't mess with me. And that's what we're doing today, and we're going to continue working on these in the next few weeks on getting actual, real, raw emotions out of our girls' faces instead of just that dead-eyed look that we've gotten way too used to. So I'm starting out my first girl the same exact way that I start out all my girls, right? We have our guidelines, our grid lines, and those will never change no matter what the expression on the front facing female face. How's that for alliteration? And I'm giving her very squinty eyes. So if you notice, she's gonna have almost no lid, and these are very squished down. So you're really cutting off the iris, which is the colored part of the eye. And the eyebrow also, if you notice, it's going to sit right above the eye. We're not, I'm slowing this down here because I really want you to pay attention to. I'm actually making those little marks just next to the eyebrows as actual wrinkles, expression lines to make this a pointed facial expression so that there can be no mistake this girl is pissed. Okay? Her mouth also, as you can notice, is small and very sharply downturned. Okay, so we're not doing these lovely little lines across, and the straight across lips is what makes them look having that resting bitch faces because we don't make them smile enough. So I want to take this to the other extreme. So we're going to do a very tight mouth that's downturned in either direction. So I redrew her eyebrows. Do this as many times as you need to get the exact level of pissness that you're looking for. And again, make sure you have that expression line next to the eyebrow, and that will add added emphasis for her expression. This is fun, guys, so I want you to have fun with me. Look, she has no hair, she doesn't even have a jawline yet, and she is looking appropriately pissed. So we're getting our job done. Once I have my lines where I want them, and I've moved my eyebrows as much as I'm going to move them, I'm just simply going over my graphite lines with Sharpie. If you don't feel comfortable with this step, you can absolutely do whatever you want and skip it. You can use graphite for the whole thing. In the last 13 weeks, I've done tutorials on face drawings with everything from watercolors to Tombows, graphite. So pick the medium of your choice that you love and go to town. I just wanted to give you this little close-up view of her eye though. And you know, I'm really fattening up that upper eyelid instead of making, and we're adding those expression lines in again in Sharpie. So again, make no mistake that those are there. Adding a little chin line as well, but I'm really fattening up those top lines, and that will it just adds emphasis to her eyelids as well. Adding shading, I'm just doing 2 tones of Copic marker for added emphasis and shading. So I'm doing a light gray in a larger area, and then I'm doing a dark gray inside of that. If you've been following on my drawing tutorials, you'll know all about shading. If you need some help, there's, if you look in my book, How to Draw Fun Fab Faces, available on Amazon, there's a shading guide in there for you, page 53, I believe, and that will pretty much tell you everything that you need to know about different areas of the face that you can shade for added emphasis. No drawing would be complete without it pops of white highlights, and so that's always my last step. And no matter what medium I'm working in, I have this is a Posca pen in white, and just adding little touches of white here and there, a little sparkle to the eye, a little add to the mouth, and you have nice added emphasis features. And then before we know it, we are done with our power piss girl. I mean, that is a girl with raw emotion. Now I'm feeling like a little stressed out, so I'm gonna take a little break and pet Rosie. This is Rosie. She's my baby girl, and she's cuddling with Leonard. We've named that chair Leonard in my art studio because it's so squishy like a big man. Anyways, back to, where was I? Oh yes, don't mess with me. All right, again, super excited about these projects, you guys. Let's take our art to the next level, all right? It's time to focus in and get some real personality to these girls that we've been drawing week after week after week. I'm super excited to start this next couple of videos. So again, I'm gonna start, as always, with our guidelines. You have to put those in there, guys. You always make sure, no matter how many hundreds of faces I'm drawing, I'm never skipping this step. So make sure you get them in there, okay? The eyes are going to be 3 across. And again, I'm jumping right in with the eyebrows. And again, they're close to the eye, right? If she's like a supermodel looking all cool, those are going to be way up in the sky. But if this girl is pissed and she's saying, don't mess with me, she's using her muscles to draw down her eyebrows really close to her eyes. And then I'm just scrumbling in the rest of the features. And again, you can really see how I'm erasing them and making them more dramatic. Go for it. You can do it over and over again until you get the angles that you want. You can look at like cartoon character references to get that exaggerated look, but let's start putting them in our girls. I think it's so fun. Not every girl has to be so serious, right? Let's have some fun with this stuff. All right, and if you notice, I'm adding the darkest part to her nostrils, the outline of her eye, and then the mid part of her mouth. And that's true for any drawing, no matter what the expression. Those are the blackest black parts of your drawing. And so if you notice, I'm not going around yet of all the parts. And when I do, I make them a little bit more lighter touch. You can also switch, like I did there, to a thinner Sharpie. So like the sides of her nostrils aren't quite so dark and dramatic. Again, I'm going in with my Copics to get the areas that are shaded, and I've done a number of drawing tutorials on how to do shading, so you can look at the card at the top of the screen to look toward another tutorial for that. And I'll link to a playlist at the end which shows, which will link to all the recent face drawing tutorials that I've been doing if you want further practice on shading and how to draw faces. Yeah, we're going for some drama lashes there for sure. And I'm using my big Magnum Sharpie to give her jet black, gorgeous hair. And I got a little carried away, so I just went with it and I ended up making most of it just black. And then to kind of like pick out some of the pieces to highlight, I went back in with my white Posca pen and I just like chose to highlight one strand within that black mass just to break it up. People ask me all the time, how do you decide how to highlight? You just kind of make that decision as you're going. It's just artistic preference. It's just for fun. So just to break it up, I added a swish of white into individual strands, and that helps to kind of differentiate those and make it interesting. Whoop, and then a little pops of white in the eyes and mouth, and this girl means business, my friends. I'm super excited to next week. Let's do some more. In the next coming weeks, I have more lessons on how to add facial expressions to your characters, from flirty, terrified, sultry, and more. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, and check the playlist for all of my face drawing challenge tutorials.